So the Digital Learning 9 grid came out a few days ago, and I wanted to really spend a moment to say thank you to those who've contributed to it. There's quite a lot of moving parts that go into just the sort of tip of the iceberg diagram, but also to the general report as well. But I wanted to sort of spend a little bit of time on, understanding perhaps or explaining, describing what those moving parts are, so that people will know what they're being thanked for. So I'll try and do this quickly and simply, if possible. So to run the analysis, I guess, and to come to our judgment of the placement on the grid, we look at performance. So that's business performance, revenue and commercial performance, also customer growth and performance, but also crucially customer advocacy at that point. So customer support is really important to that judgment. We look at solution potential. So that's sort of technological sophistication, but it's also the scope and capability of each of the services here. So it's not just about technology for digital learning. A lot of this perhaps is about design, consulting capability, as well as some of the tools and technologies that go into that analysis. We look at the presence of the businesses. So that's a judgment of the sort of scale and scope of the organization in the market. So that's the size of the business, perhaps sort of the amount of go-to-market effort, and the impact that's made on the European markets. We look at the total cost of ownership, which it's about pricing, but not only pricing. So we try and sort of balance the pricing a little bit with the required sort of resource to make the most of the solutions from a partner perspective. And we also look at trajectory, and trajectory really is a judgment of for each of the businesses where we see their trajectory going over the next 12 months or so, in terms of against the market, but also against their recent performance as well. So this is a sort of a view for each of the businesses of how we see that sort of momentum for the future. That's against the market overall, not just the individual zone that each business is on the grid. So those are the dimensions and I guess the scores and the analysis. We have various briefing meetings with vendors to understand priorities, strategy, performance, future priority, roadmap, etc. We match that against the core data that's sent to us about business performance and metrics. Also, a large set of functional data which helps us judge that sort of solution potential, which is partly about technology and product capability. It's partly about service capability. So that's a judgment of scope and capability and sophistication of those solutions and services. We have a satisfaction survey with customers. We run customer interviews as well to try and sort of calibrate and validate what we hear from vendors. And those are extremely, well, I find them extremely interesting, valuable, but very significant in the analysis. We have our corporate research network and the various roundtable conversations that we run throughout the year, and client engagements on the corporate side that help us judge some of what we see in here in the digital learning grid as well. And we also have our learning realities, digital learning realities, and I guess the HR realities research, which kind of gives us some sort of scope of market and market trends as well. So there's quite a lot. There's a lot of effort, I suppose, is what I'm saying, and it's not just the effort from me; it's the effort from my Fosway colleagues, but also crucially from vendors and their customers to help us gather this data, validate it, calibrate it, get in touch with customers, etc. So if you're one of those, thank you very much. It wouldn't have happened without you, and we really do appreciate that support, and also encouragement to making this work. So that's how the grid works, I guess, very quickly. And any questions, let me know. But as I said, thank you very much for those of you who helped support it, and also for all your questions since the release as well. More to come on the themes of the report itself, but I just wanted to say, thank you for getting us to this point anyway, and more anon.